Let's do some Watch This Boys.
Sure.
Am
So
I?
it looks, I mean, you've been watching a lot, so
Whoa,
take
whoa,
it
whoa!
away.
Are you shaming me? Are you TV shaming me?
I am TV shaming you. Yeah.
Did I mention that I'm going to Hell Week at Orange Theory? I'm entitled to watch television. I can't move for the rest of the day, so I just lie on the couch.
Tell us about the 17-hour long movies you've been watching.
To be honest, I've really been playing a lot of Far Cry, not so much TV. But I guess I'm the only one of us three that watched Dune. Yeah. You guys weren't curious?
You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess.
You don't have to guess. You weren't curious?
You know what? I had the time to watch one movie over the weekend, really when I came back from the wedding. And I chose something other than Dune.
Why?
Not that.
Everybody's talking about it.
I see the trailer.
No.
I see the trailer.
I didn't see it.
For Dune. Are they trying to convince me to watch a movie when I watch that trailer?
Why? What did you see in the trailer that made you not want to watch it?
A sense of anything?
Yeah, like, I don't know much about Dune, and every time I see something Dune related, I'm like, I mean, I'm glad people like it. That's my usual reaction.
But you're not curious to see like the inspiration behind Star Wars? Like, you like Star Wars? No, Shipwreck shaking
Star Wars.
I know what the inspiration is behind Star Wars.
It was Dune, apparently.
I thought it was the other one. I thought it was the one that was on Apple TV.
What was that?
That's that.
Ted Lasso?
That new, no, the
Foundation.
I don't know. Foundation.
Oh.
Yes, I thought that was the basis of Star
Everything.
Wars.
I thought the Legend of King Arthur was the.
I thought it was the Bible.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it. Mrs. Cheapy and I watched it. It wasn't that long. It's 2.5 hours. It's the same length as every Marvel movie that comes out, pretty much. We did break it down into 2 viewings, as we like to do here in this household, even when the adults are involved, just because it is a long time to sit. I liked it. Did
they win? Did the Dune people win?
I mean, the Dune people. It's a trilogy, so I gotta say this.
Is this like the Sand People from Star Wars get mad?
No.
And they start a revolution.
They talk.
Do they go to the cantina?
I don't think there's a cantina.
Is there anything interesting at all?
Are there?
Yeah, I mean, look, am I going to say that like I loved it? No. I was definitely interested. It held my attention. I wanted to see what happened till the end. Did I think the ending was a little anticlimactic? Yes. And I think
where was the climax in the movie?
Good question. I think it's in the next movie.
Was the CGI on Gollum distracting?
Do you know, like, no, I didn't, that was fine. I didn't see any distracting CGI.
Oh, was Andy Serkising going on in this?
See the bad guy?
He should have been.
Oh.
No, I don't think he's in this.
Oh. No, everything, the effects are really good. The music is really good. The visuals.
This has all the people from Disney movies, but it's not a Disney movie, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was distracting, seeing the guy from Star Wars.
Well, you've got Poe, you've got Mary Jane, you've got Aquaman, which I guess isn't Disney.
He was fine in it.
You've got who else is in this?
The best part, and I posted this on Twitter, and it goes to what you're saying, Ship. Mm-hmm. There's the official artwork for this has all the characters' pictures on it. And, we finished the movie and it's up on the screen here right behind me. And I said to Mrs. Cheapy, all right, Mrs. Cheapy, I didn't maybe not say that, and I pointed to each, I said, which of these characters can you name? She got 0.
Oh, the names of the characters, not
the characters. 0.
I thought you called her mother.
Never. I got 2. Which is not great because there were like 8 characters on the screen. But I don't know. I was entertained. I felt like, we're so used to seeing movies like action movies, science fiction movies. This is not an action movie, by the way, but a science fiction movie with like a big finale with a lot of things blowing up. And this does not have that. So it was a little weird. I kept waiting. When the movie ended, I was like, oh, we're just going to stop the movie now without blowing stuff up, which is, okay. I'm sophisticated. I don't need that. But I don't know. I didn't love it. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't, if I really felt strongly about it, Ship, I would try to convince you to watch it, and you too, Wombat, but I don't.
I don't think it's for me. I mean, I've seen the original Dune, and that was not for me.
It was not offensive, though, to my taste.
Are you going to watch that movie with, you don't have Netflix, never. I was going to say, you should watch that movie with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. It's The Rock, right? And Gal Gadot that's coming out. That seems right up Shipwreck's alley.
What, are you saying he's an unsophisticated bore?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? If I like I said, I think like if you are invested in the Dune universe and have read the books and maybe seen the other movies.
It's called the Duneverse.
Sorry, you would know. I'm not even that invested. That's how little invested I am. You probably get a lot out of the movie.
Fans are called Dunatics.
No, they're not.
I hope so.
I hope so. They're going to be now. Anyway, I'm glad, that's all. Enough Dune talk. Did you watch the Only Murders in the Building finale?
No, I'm like 3 episodes behind. I'm the worst.
You are the worst.
I know, because we're trying to watch together and it just hasn't worked.
It's that busy lifestyle.
I know.
Yeah, how about between the hours of 9 and 3?
Well, it's a 2-person operation.
Most of my jokes are just for shipwreck.
I know.
Yeah, so we watched it. It was very good. This is definitely Only Murders in the Building. Definitely one of our top television series of the year. And Mrs. Chibi was talking to me the other day about how many great series there were this year. So we should probably put together a list of our favorite shows of 2021 at some point towards the end of the year. We can have a favorites of Watch This Boys, which I don't think we've done this year. It seems like there's a lot of quality shit that came out this year.
Yeah, it's Guys Groceries Games is really stepped up.
You can only choose that once, though. You can't be all of your choices.
Oh, says you.
You can't do multiple episodes. So yeah, loved Only Murders in the Building. No spoilers or anything, but yeah, just what I really appreciated about that show was that it was only the episode's only half an hour long, and they managed to pack those episodes with quality and getting you involved with the characters. A lot of shows, these hour-long shows, that you feel like they're wasting your time sometimes, but never with Only Murders in the Building. Stu Beef writes in, and he's got a comment. He says, is Long Island the poor have sex with your cousin shithole part of New York that Only Murders in the Building keeps knocking it down as? I had always thought of it as synonymous with the Hamptons or Montauk being an obscenely high cost of living spot for fairly wealthy residents, though I am admittedly not from the East Coast. Maybe I'm just not getting the joke. Wombat, you're from Long Island. You can answer this.
Long Island is very large. I think is probably what a lot of people misunderstand.
It's long.
It is quite the Long Island. To drive from my house to the Montauk Lighthouse could take upwards of 4 hours.
Yet only 6 minutes to Orange Theory.
Yes, only 6 minutes to the closest Orange Theory. So and with anything that's basically the size of a small state, you're going to have varying areas of varying economic,
diversity
stuff. Thank you. Yeah. So there are places on Long Island that are not the best. There are places on Long Island that are crazy.
Those are the killing
expensive.
fields, right?
Yes. That's the whole entire
exactly.
island.
And there are places that are in the middle. It is what it is.
Basically, Nassau County has more population density than Suffolk County, which is the most East Coast part. But if you go out far enough east, you get to like some big mansions where people have their summer homes. So that's basically the breakdown. So yeah, we did get shouted out in Only Murders in the Building. That was good. We appreciate that.
Sure do.
Is anybody watching What We Do in the Shadows? Because we're wrapping up that season too. And this most recent episode was probably the funniest one of the year so far. Did you guys not watch the movie or not like the movie? Because
the vampire thing.
I was gonna say I tried to watch it a few times. I just couldn't. It just didn't resonate.
I watched like 3 episodes of it, I think.
The TV show? Yeah. The first 3 episodes weren't that great. Yeah. I could see why you bailed. I feel like it was a little, I remember thinking about bailing, but I was glad I stuck with it. Some of them are just ridiculously funny, but some of them are misses too. What else? What are you watching?
I saw a movie that I don't want to say too much about because I know Shipwreck hasn't watched it yet. That is a movie called Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins.
Uh-huh. Yes,
the origins of Snake Eyes. It is.
Yes.
I mean, you have to watch it.
I will.
You have to.
It's right here. I will.
I know.
It's bad.
It is. I don't know I just don't know.
I told you, Ty came to me like months after watching it, just out of nowhere, just saying, like on second thought, Snake Eyes was bad. I guess we had watched some good movies between them.
He said on second thought. I'm saying on first thought.
Right, but he was, 13.
Yeah. Snake Eyes is not good. It's misguided in so many ways. And it's one of those movies where you see like they got some really good actors in it. The guy from The Raid is in this movie, Chibi. The guy beats everyone up in the hallway. Yeah, beats everyone up in the hallway.
Right.
He's in this movie. Do you know how many people he beats up?
Yeah, that's the problem, huh?
Yeah, it's very strange. There's a lot of things. I don't want to spoil anything for Ship because he's gonna watch the movie. But
is Shipwreck in the movie?
No, Shipwreck is not in the movie. Otherwise, it would
throw that shit right out the window.
It would have been that would have been a little bit of redemption.
Shipwreck Origins sounds like such a better movie.
You know what? This movie could have been Shipwreck Origins, and they didn't have to change anything, and it probably would have been the same movie.
That's the problem with what they try to do with Snake Eyes, right? Like, it's just like, oh, here's the cool looking hero, and then they just like ignore like everything about
him. They gave him a face and a voice. It's like, so what are the defining characteristics of this character? Well, he has no face and no voice. Okay, well, throw those things out the window. So then it's a different person. It might as well have been Flint and the Flint story.
And he's supposed to be mysterious.
Yes.
And we're going to tell the origin story.
And now you know everything about the most mysterious character. It's Boba Fett syndrome, where Boba Fett was cool for almost 40 years because we knew nothing about him. And then, these movies came along and we found out about his dad and all the nonsense. And we're like,
and then he got fat and if he was in the desert and
it's like, now
forgot to lock his ship a couple times.
And now he's not cool anymore. It's like, oh, I remember when you were cool. The good thing is I think Snake Eyes is bad enough where Snake Eyes, the character, can still be cool because they're just going to sweep this under the rug.
They keep sweeping them under the rug, right? Like,
I know. The thing is, in that second G.I. Joe movie, which is also terrible, but the G.I. Joe,
but yeah,
those G.I. Joe fights, the Snake Eyes fight scenes, the stuff on the mountain, that stuff is awesome. That's really good. That's the redeeming qualities of that movie. They just needed to take that and make it 2 hours long, and they don't. So
that movie's only a half an hour shorter than Dune.
I understand.
I broke my promise to Andy. Fuck.
Oh.
I actually silenced one of my burps using my cough button earlier. Sorry, Andy. Maybe I'm probably not going to edit it.
You know why? Because you're angry about Snake Eyes.
No, it's
Snake
giving
Eyes
me
is
gas.
next up on my watch list.
I need you to watch it just so we could talk about.
I was trying to watch it before the show, but Mrs. Shipwreck said the only way she'd watch it with me is if we watched Free Guy first, because she wanted to watch Free Guy. So we watched Free Guy.
And you watched Free Guy?
I watched Free Guy.
Is it like vanilla yogurt?
Yes, it is very much. I don't know. It's less interesting than Pixels.
Ooh,
wow!
No, that's not good.
But
how is Pixels interesting?
A better movie than Pixels, but less interesting.
Wait, how is Pixels interesting?
I wanted to see Free Guy.
What was that?
Pixels is very interesting, by the way.
Why?
Because a man fucks Qbert.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on.
Okay, that is interesting.
Yeah,
that's a whole other movie.
Is interesting the right word for that movie?
Yes.
Okay.
But I did want to see Free Guy. It looks like it could be like enjoyable popcorn.
It looks like it, and there's like some decent like visuals, but it's just kind of one note the entire thing, right?
At least with Ryan Reynolds, when he makes a movie about a guy with no face, he sticks to that. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, so I think I chuckled like once in the movie, which is like, I don't know, like
They're not putting that on the back of the box.
No, which is like you're coming into this like it's either going to be like a really good action movie or it's going to be funny, right? Maybe a mixture of the both. And it's like the visuals of the action is pretty good, but it never like gets to the point where you're like, oh, this is a really cool scene. It's just like, oh yeah, they did an action scene here. They did it.
Painkiller in the chat says upload on Amazon is much better, which I've watched and it was good.
Which one's Upload?
That's a TV series one,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I like
That's
that.
the one where it's the afterlife in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the premise for this was fine. It just, I don't know. It didn't really have a whole lot to say. Or,
Right.
I don't know.
I'm not
It's
surprised.
Free Guy.
Right.
I've been watching a show on regular television on CBS. Remember like shows, sitcoms on regular television?
Like Three's Company?
Yeah, there's one called Ghosts on CBS that my wife and I have been watching. It stars Rose McIver from iZombie as her and her husband inherit a mansion from her great aunt. And when they're in there trying to clean it up, she hits her head. And now she could see all the ghosts that haunt the mansion. Actually, she could see all ghosts, but specifically the ones that haunt the mansion, and hijinks ensue. And it's cute. If
She died when she hit her head.
Yeah, exactly. She's dead. Now, and it's
That's what you're going to find out in the season finale. Shipwreck just ruined it for you and everybody else. Womp womp.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Gilbert writes in and says, I want Shipwreck's slightly awkward segment flipped on Cheapy about the ongoing Chapelle controversy. Should Netflix remove The Closer? Is it transphobic? I know Shipwreck hasn't watched it. Wombat, you haven't watched it. Do you watch any of his specials?
I'm not a big Chapelle stand-up guy.
Do you watch any stand-up?
Yeah, I watch a lot of stand-up.
What's the last stand-up special you watch, just so we know?
The last stand-up special I watched now.
Eddie Murphy Raw.
That was a good one.
No, did I watch the Nate Bargatze's last special?
You just made that name up. That's not a comedian.
No, I want to say that might be the last one I watched.
Nate Bargatze?
Newt Garbanzos.
I love her. I watched the Closer. I watched it actually right when it came out before there was any controversy. So I just happened to watch it. I was looking for something to watch and I thought it was,
you would actually like Nate Bargatze. He's a Tennessee stand-up comedian.
Oh,
his
Shipwreck.
His father was a professional magician. No,
like Tennessee stuff.
Was it a close magician or a far magician?
He has all sorts of things about how his father was a magician. It's very strange.
In between magician? How close is this magician to me?
That may be the last stand-up special I watched. There may be another one in there too that I'm just missing. But yes, I watch a lot of stand-up if you want to know the truth.
The reason I thought it was controversial after watching it was only because he spends so much of it talking about LGBT stuff, which was weird, like a weird topic and it's not jokes really. It's mostly him telling stories that are not particularly funny. He finds the humor in them, but the stories aren't particularly funny. They involve tragedy and things that normally, like if you're looking to make people in a big room laugh, you wouldn't tell stories like that.
This is my thought on the whole situation.
You got to watch it though. It's hard to comment on it if you haven't watched it.
I can comment. Let me make my comment.
I think you can do it.
I know, but
because my comment on it is your idea. I learned it from you, Cheapy.
Dad, I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Because you're the one who basically instructed all of us that if someone is saying something that's offensive, it's only offensive if the people that are being targeted find it offensive. You use your wife as an example in these situations where there are, some people will get up in arms about people making fun of Japanese people who aren't Japanese. And your wife will be like, it's really not that big a deal. It's not that offensive. I should know they're making fun of me. So in this situation, you're asking a bunch of cis white males, is this Chapelle special transphobic? Is it offensive? And their answer is, it doesn't matter what anyone on this show thinks about it because we're not the targeted audience. Now, if the trans community as a whole has decided that this is offensive to them and that there is a problem there, because it is dangerous to their community, then guess what? By your own logic, there's a problem there. And
My
it is
logic?
something, your logic.
None of this is my logic. That's all Mrs.
This is your
Cheapy's-
logic.
This is Mrs. Cheapy's thing.
Mrs. Cheapy's logic. Fine. Then yes, there is a problem there. And
So people should vote on comedy specials to see.
that's not the
How do you
issue
go
at
to?
all.
How do you decide?
The issue is this a special offensive to the trans community? And the answer to that is the trans community finds this offensive and dangerous to their community. In the Discord chat the other day, this came up, and the idea of a turf, and someone actually said, well, turf is a made up thing. Chapelle said so. There's danger in what he said because people are
He never
using
said that, but he didn't say
as a
that. I watched the show twice. I watched the special
I'm just saying
twice.
that's
He
what
doesn't
someone
say that.
said.
He gives you the dictionary definition of turf.
Yeah,
Is what he does.
it
So I guess that's not made up because he's giving you the definition. That's weird.
it's
My point. Here's what I think. I think whatever who gets offended. Like Wombat says. How could I say what somebody else thinks is offensive?
You can't tell someone that they shouldn't be offended by that when they're the person being.
But I have a feeling that a lot of people who are offended by this have not really watched it. They've maybe read some articles about it. Similarly to the book that book situation in your school, front desk, where everything's out of context and people are just like jumping on the bandwagon to be outraged by something. It's hard to measure, like
people
like
in
you
the
said,
chat
like
are saying that you're wrong, that he does specifically say they made up tons of terms, including turf. That is part of the special.
Well, I mean, what does that mean? Of course, all terms are made up by, like, what are they? Words just materialize? Like all of a sudden there's a word appears.
You're
and then
getting
there's
a little
definition?
defensive about it, but go on.
No, I mean, how are words made? Like, I mean, what do you mean?
It's more of the he's
Words
saying
are
that
made.
it's not something that he should. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he was.
He's wrong.
Like the point is,
problem.
like probably like people who get offended maybe have not necessarily, but people complain about things that they haven't watched. And I'm thinking maybe that happened here. I don't know.
I don't think that's the. I think that might be an issue with a lot of outside the community. Again, there's a targeted community here, and I know. I don't know.
I just don't know why. I don't know
dozen-
why it's dangerous for people. But anyway, it's.
I mean, we
I
could
don't think
discuss that
comedy
all
specials
there.
should
I
be-
could send you the articles and the
I
links.
read the articles after watching it, and
You read the ones on Advocate and Out regarding the trans community, written by trans people, describing incidents
they take
regarding this special.
Yeah, they retell the jokes. They retell they summarize what he says, basically. Just like in Front Desk when they pull the quotes out just like one after another.
Again, it's not the same thing. It isn't the same thing. And you're belittling both situations when you try to compare two things that are non-comparable. It's an apples and oranges situation. And again, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. Do I think the special should be pulled? Probably not. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But I'm not a trans person. I'm not being targeted by this special. And I haven't had anyone say that, anything about me because, well, Chapelle said this, so now I get to act like this, which may be happening. And that's the problem.
I don't know that he said anything like that. But anyway, whatever. It doesn't
matter.
It was a weird topic for him to. I don't know why he keeps bringing it up. It causes him so much controversy that he doesn't need.
Because
obviously.
he makes more money every time it comes up.
No, he doesn't. He's already signed the deal. His deal is over already. He's already made, like, how much money did he make off of that Netflix deal?
So much. He made like
So much.
$25 million.
For each special, probably, right?
I don't know. I think it was $25 million was the number I saw from Netflix. I mean, it's crazy.
It was weird that I do see, like, it is weird, like, why he keeps, it's such a big part of the special. I don't know why he decides to focus on it. I think he's bored, to be honest.
I don't know. I stand by my statement is you can't tell the
I agree with
targeted
you.
party
Absolutely.
that they can't be offended when they're the ones.
I agree with you
being
100%. I was not offended about his Space Jews joke.
Yeah. Exactly.
But that's me personally.
That's you. You're not offended by space Jews. I'm sure I wouldn't be offended by space Jews either.
Shipwreck was, though. He wants it pulled.
But there's a difference in.
Of course. I'm not saying it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. And if the trans community is being hurt by what was said by Dave Chapelle, then the trans community was hurt by Dave Chapelle, and it's something that should be explored. Not by us, but
Right. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.